And welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3. Starting off again in Reload. Rest assured, one of these videos will start off in Portable. I just haven't found a good one for it yet. But we're about ready to wrap up our first exploration of Tartarus. Just to reiterate, in Persona 3 Reload and Persona 3 Portable, I have already done all Tartarus excursions that I plan to do for this month. With one exception regarding Portable that will come up later and will be resolved a bit more organically in FES, but otherwise, we're not really going to be seeing any more of Tartarus in these versions of the game. FES, of course, we have to take multiple trips because of the fatigue system, but I've taken care of all the money gathering I need. Of course, we've got the yen that I just collected naturally, plus all of the stuff that I plan to sell when we return to the real world. I always struggle to find a way to differentiate between the dark hour and just, like, you know, the standard day-to-day. Like, I'm so used to saying the real world because of how this system worked in Persona 4 and 5, but that's neither here nor there. Before we leave, we actually want to take a quick step into the Velvet Room, because when we enter here, I can sense that the power growing within you stems from the bond you have forged and nurtured since. Here, it may not be much, but this is my gift to you. Please accept it. And we get a Twilight Fragment from Elizabeth. Nice! Elizabeth will occasionally give you a Twilight Fragment as a reward for your social raising your social stats, or establishing new social links. Visit Elizabeth periodically to collect them. I still cannot foresee the limits of your potential. I look forward to witnessing you grow even further. Now then, how may I be of assistance? So, this is pretty important to know. All of those Twilight fragments that I collected in across Tatsumi Port Island, the dorm, and all that jazz, those are not respawnable, nor are there any more that are going to spawn in that we can collect in the standard game world. Going forward, the overwhelming majority of Twilight fragments you're going to be getting are going to be coming from Elizabeth, primarily from what the game just mentioned there, by raising social stats or improving our social links. We look forward to your next visit. But also, there are a handful of secondary things we can do to get Twilight fragments from her. But Elizabeth is going to be our primary source of those going forward. Obviously, there's also the ones that we can find in Tartarus, but you can't really count on those. Now, one last thing before we leave here. I am electing to leave at this point, but you can kind of just mill around the first floor of Tartarus and bully cowardly Mayas for an hour or two if you want, and easily get yen cards off of them, since they're weak to slash attacks. The protagonist, or Junpei, can just destroy them in a single round of actions. And that is definitely a way to pad out your finances, and it doesn't cost you any SP to do it. But I don't really feel like that's necessary. I just want to focus on getting what I need to progress. With all that said, all that taken care of, what's the matter? Are you done for the day? Oh, I am beat, Mitsuru. Alright, rest up and come prepared for our next expedition. And we leave, and we're finally going to get an opportunity to catch up Persona 3 Reload with the rest of the versions of this game in terms of our abilities. Yo, Zeller, you by yourself today? Dude, was the rumor about you and Takiba-san coming to school together even true? Only on the first day.
You sure?
Oh yeah? Oh, it's not like I care or anything. Anyways, you must have been pretty unlucky to be transferred here. Wait, you seriously don't know? Weird stuff's been happening at this school. There are a couple folks who say they've heard strange voices. But I guess since you're always wearing those headphones, you probably haven't heard anything. Hey, I was born with the music ringing in my ears, okay? Don't judge.
Yo, what's up? Hey man, I'm gonna get some ramen after school. You wanna come?
Well, sure, why not? But, why ask me out of the blue? Like my hair?
No reason, really. Just don't have anything to do later. Plus, I figured we could finish our chat from this morning. So how about it, man? Let's get some ramen at the mall and talk.
I'm going to hang out with my classmate after school. According to Igor, the strength of a social link is the strength of a persona. I decided to go with him. One thing to note is that it's actually pretty unfortunate that we went to Tartarus and are forced to go along with Kenji for a mechanic that we can take advantage of post-Tartarus exploration, and it's something that we'll be able to take advantage of in the other versions of the game, not only more regularly, but also on this specific situation of going into school after Tartarus. But we'll get to that after we finish up our business with Kenji here.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Well, was I right or was I right? The soup here tastes great, doesn't it? We've got to put some special ingredient in it. Something no other ramen shop would ever use. Maybe there's a secret clue in the shop's name. My bad. I always geek out a little whenever I eat here.
I know what you mean, man. It's delicious. It's like magic.
You do? Really? You taste the magic too?
I didn't actually know he was gonna say magic, but go me with my precognition.
Man, I wasn't expecting that. I think I'm liking you more by the minute. By the way, I hear you and Takeba-san are pretty close. Damn, and you just transferred here too. Well, I can't blame you. Man's gotta be aggressive in this day and age. Hey, let's hang out after school again sometime. Let me know when you're free. I'll tell you all about my secret plan. Dude, you're gonna flip when you hear it.
Kenji Tomochika seems to have taken a liking to me. Huh? A voice is ringing inside my head.
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast established a new bond. Thou shalt have our blessing when thou choosest to create a persona of the Magician Arcana.
And after a slight delay, we have established the social link with Kenji, the Magician, in Persona 3 Reload now. So now Reload is caught up with the other versions of the game in terms of social links. Now, I believe I mentioned this when we first got this social link with Kenji in FES, but for the majority of the social links regarding the male character, within the main videos, I will just be using the Persona 3 Reload versions of these scenes to demonstrate them, as they are fairly similar in scripting and overall presentation, but they actually have voice acting, which, you know, takes some stress off of my voice, and generally just makes for a more entertaining experience for the viewer. But I will be compiling the FES versions of every social link into their own little videos that will be uploaded alongside the main Let's Play videos, so that you can check them out and compare and contrast them, though I more than likely will not be reading the text in those. I will just be reading them aloud to myself, just to make sure I time it so that everybody can read them when I go through those videos, but that's my plan for it going forward. Now, for Persona 3 Portable, obviously any social link that is exclusive to the female protagonist, I will be going over in full detail. But there are a number of social links between the male character and the female character that are functionally identical to each other, with just some minor changes in the writing to obviously accommodate the fact that you're playing as a girl instead of a boy. So maybe I'll show off a couple of those situations, but any of the social links that are largely similar, I'll probably be ignoring when it comes to Persona 3 Portable as far as depicting them in the video, but I will have the raw video recordings for those available to me, so just let me know in the comments, in the threads that I'm posting this to, or wherever, if you'd like me to actually show those off in full detail. When you meet certain people in school or in the city, you may develop a social link with them. When fusing personas, these social links will affect the results of the fusion. When you fuse a persona that has the same arcana as one of your social links, the resulting persona will gain bonus experience. Try to establish relationships with many people to enhance your persona's capabilities.
What, it's already dark? Damn, I missed my favorite show. Man, for real? Oh well. Let's get going. But first, let's swap numbers. Bust out that cell phone.
You can now receive invites via messages from your social links. After you've visited a business at least once, you'll be added to their mailing list. Visit different facilities to receive updates and special offers. This is a new mechanic to reload. Though you did have a cell phone in Persona 3 FES and Portable, it was mostly just there to be used by the game at its discretion. In this game, you have a sort of text message menu that allows you to check invites from your social links, as well as check out offers and discounts from the various businesses around the area. I decided to return to the dorm.
Oh, it's you.
Welcome back. By the way, regarding the dark hour, this may go without saying, but it is impossible to do business at any stores during that time, so make sure you're ready in advance. You don't want to be caught unprepared when it's too late. Fortunately, in every version after the PS2 versions of the game, it is much easier to guarantee that kind of thing, because obviously you can shop with Officer Kurosawa during the evening, rather than in FES and Vanilla, where that was strictly a daytime opportunity. Anyways, because we have already visited the arcade, we get emails from Game Parade about what might be available. So let's see, come to play our popular crane game and try to win a prize. Then stick around and hop into one of our many immersive video games. There's great fun to be had, whether you're alone or with friends. We can't wait to see you. It's a promo message from the arcade. Should I go there now? Most text messages, when you text that or check them, give you the opportunity to automatically travel to the relevant event. You should definitely check your text message menu whenever you have new messages coming in case you're getting certain invites from your friends and allies. So let's see here. We just want to go to Polonia Mall real quick, because I don't actually want to do anything in Polonia Mall, but we've got all that junk that we collected from Tartarus, so I think this is a good time to just liquidate it right out, get our funds built up, and have all the money we need for until the full moon. I assume something important happens on the full moon, since the game is bothering to track it. I'm just ignoring Officer Kurosawa here as I sell him all my junk. With our vendor trash, we get 12,000 yen, which is pretty sizable. We can also sell off our outdated weapons here to get some funds from that. And let me see, we should have other things we can sell. Let me see. I forgot if we got an item from the wealth hands we fought. These pixie dust talismans are pretty useless. Ditto for these speed bands. I don't want these luck bands. And the unique accessories that come equipped to your characters when they first join, these serve no purpose but to be sold. With all that liquidation done, we have a cool 50,000 yen for the rest of the month, more or less.
Come back soon.
Alright, see you later, officer. Don't ask what I'm going to do with this money, because you'll be disappointed with the answer. Now, you may notice, compared to Persona 3 FES and Portable, we actually have an extra option of a place to visit during the afternoon. We can go to Iwatodai Station Strip Mall, and that's where we want to go. So let's pop on over here, because unlike Persona 3 FES and Portable, we can actually make use of the various diners and stores around this area during the nighttime. Now, I showed it off in Persona 3 FES that you could come here and you could eat at various restaurants depending on the day for stat bonuses. This isn't really that useful in that version of the game because the daytime schedule is quite crowded if you're trying to max out all the social links, so you never really have the free time to use the restaurants at a time where it wouldn't conflict with doing social links, or you even needed the stat bonuses. Considering that, they decided to make it so you could use these businesses at night in Persona 3 Reload, which is appreciated, but it also kind of creates this funny situation where the traditional means to boost your stats at night are kind of useless in comparison. Obviously, the arcade is still useful because the relevant stat boosts are available on nights that the restaurants you want to go to aren't available to eat at, but the single stage 2-point boost that you would get, which in this case is karaoke, that is no longer a really viable option for boosting your stat, because you can just go to superior services on most nights. And we want to go to Wild Duck Burger tonight. Mystery Burger, 1,000 yen. The ingredients are a secret. Eating the burger might help me gain more courage. Grabbing a bite at Wild Duck Burger will raise your courage. Doing so will cause time to pass. Well, come on, let's have a bite. As, how mysterious is this burger? I decided to try the new burger. A staffer looked apologetically at me before turning away. With some uneasiness, I managed to finish the whole thing. And we get +4 courage. Very nice. But yes, we have way more opportunities to get these +4 bonuses in Persona 3 Reload, which means not only can we fast-track our ability to max out these stats much more effectively than we can in FES, or even Portable, but it also gives us more flexibility to check out these other quad point or 4-point bonuses available at the various locations in the Iwatodai Strip Mall. Is it just me, or have there been more weird people around lately? Wow. Like the ones with apathy syndrome? There are some in my neighborhood, too. It's seriously creepy. Sometimes I wonder what will happen if I end up like that, and it just depresses me. Maybe we'll be okay if we exercise and improve our stamina. Actually, I heard that the track team is still accepting new members. Maybe running will make us stronger? Seems like the track team is recruiting new members. Maybe I can learn more about it if I visit their club room. The first bell has rung. And with that, class has ended for today. Apparently the track team is recruiting new members. Let me see here. I'm just double checking my schedule real quick. If I can find where they practice, maybe I could see about possibly joining the team. Just thinking, there are some things outside of school that would be nice to check, but we can put that off for later, because there will be, later this week, a reason to go outside the school anyway, so I can just do that then. For now, though, let's make our way to the gym. I believe it's over this way. Let me just check the map. Actually, what the heck? It's right here. I can just teleport there. It takes me a while to remember to do that. Ooh, actually, this is one that I forgot to get. There's something on the floor in front of the lockers. I must have overlooked this when I was going through that. Still, I picked up an extra one that I had missed when I was doing my practice run of grabbing these Twilight fragments, so it all worked out in the end. Anyway, let's go out to the practice field. This door leads outside to the practice field. Makes sense. It's being used by the track team. There's a note that says, track team now recruiting. No slowpokes, please. Oh, what the hell? Let's take a tour, but we're gonna join, obvs. The track team is training hard. Well, that was a good tour. Okay, I'm glad I did that. Kenji is texting us, but we're just gonna ignore him for today. Sorry, Kenji. That is important to note, though, is that if you have a text, that more than likely means you're ready for a rank up with your social link. But if you want to, you can just quickly check it. Looks like Tomochika wants to hang out. I feel like I might grow closer to Tomochika soon. This is the message that will pop up if you are ready to rank up your social link with someone, or if the hangout results in a rank up. This is not something that is available to you in Persona 3 FES, so it's a nice little quality of life thing to be able to know that immediately. And I think it's also not in Persona 3 Portable, but you do get notified in that version when your next hangout with someone will rank you up, and maybe in FES. I kind of skipped through that text a lot, so I'm actually not sure on that, but we'll have plenty of time to actually reaffirm what I know about that, or deconfirm it, because I'll be paying a lot more closer attention to what I'm actually doing, since I'm not doing practice runs anymore. Aren't you from Miss Toriyumi's class? Oh, want to join the team? I'll take care of all the paperwork, so go ahead and introduce yourself to your new teammates. Alright everyone, gather around.
So, starting today, he's an official member of the team.
I'm Cullen, nice to meet you.
Welcome aboard. I'm Yuko Nishiwaki.
She's our team manager. She'll answer any of your questions.
You're a second year, right? Since we're in the same grade, you can just call me Yuko.
Let's see. Hey, Miyamoto.
Yes.
This here's our future team captain. Great runner and places well in competitions. You two are in the same class, right? Miyamoto, keep an eye on the new guy here, okay?
You got it. You're the guy who went out with Takeba on the first day of school, right? You're practically a celebrity. I'm Kazushi Miyamoto. You've seen me around, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of stick out like a sore thumb always wearing that tracksuit.
Then, long story short, from now on, you're mine after school. You better not think you're getting the easy treatment just because you joined mid-season.
Miyamoto's given me a warm welcome. I joined the track team and made friends with my new teammates.
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast established a new bond. Thou shalt have our blessing when thou choosest to create a persona of the Chariot Arcana.
And thus we are able to get a bonus when fusing personas of the Chariot Arcana. The Chariot Arcana is generally filled out with physical specialist personas, so a very good Arcana to have a EXP bonus in if you're looking to make a physical bruiser persona.
Since this is your first practice, just have a look around and then call it a day. We have practice on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. There's no practice the days before tests, though. I'll make sure your uniform is ready for next time.
After looking around, I decided to go back to the dorm. That was actually a really sneaky and subtle hint that Yuko dropped there. Speaking of dropping hints, it's Yuko, the team manager. Should I say hello? I think I will.
Oh, hello. What's up?
Oh, wanna walk home together?
Actually, no, I'm in a hurry today. See ya.
Ah, rejected. But she didn't seem to mind our forwardness. Yuko went home alone. I decided to go back to the dorm myself. Anyway, that comment she made about how there being no practice in the the weeks leading up to test, or rather the week leading up to a test, that is actually a general hint for any social link that takes place in school. None of your social links that are focused around school clubs, or even just your classmates, are available to progress on the week leading up to a test. So that's one of those considerations you have to make. Oh yeah, so you're buddies with Tomochika now. He's saying you're someone to watch out for. Oh, but in a good way. Hell yeah, I am. Haha, I can see why you two get along. He's kind of a ladies' man. He's a good dude. Oh, I almost forgot. I was gonna ask if you want to go to Tartarus tonight. It looks like there's more of those lost, so we gotta take out more shadows, right? In Persona 3 Reload, that kind of dialogue is purely for flavor, but in Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable, that would indicate to you that the person mentioning that is in the great condition. So they'll have better offenses and defenses when going into Tartarus, though the bonuses you get from that are nowhere near as pronounced as the penalties you get from being tired, so it's not really that big a deal. Speaking of flavor text, why don't we talk to our crew around here? How you doing, Akihiko? Or Sonata, as they insist on calling him in this version. The doctor told me to rest, but I don't want to risk losing my edge. I was thinking that getting back into training could be a good way to rehabilitate, but if Mitsuru finds out, being told to rest will be the least of my worries. Well, it's not like she's gonna beat you up, that would just make your ribs even worse. Something the matter? I just wanted to chat.
Let's see.
Tartarus, riddled with mysteries as it is, will no doubt challenge you with unexpected encounters. If you ever feel outmatched, there's no shame in a wise retreat. Wise words, Mitsuru, although it's far from necessary in Persona 3 Reload, if I'm being honest.
Hey, so...
Kirito-senpai is so stoic, isn't she? Well, she has a lot of responsibilities, so maybe it kinda comes with the territory. Yeah, fair point, fair point. Definitely carries herself with a degree of maturity you wouldn't expect from a high schooler. Bro, don't weapons and armor cost way too much? I mean, I guess quality matters. It does kind of make me feel stronger. I know we can't be stingy when it comes to equipment, but man, my wallet is crying in pain. That's a load of bull from you, Junpei. You don't buy anything in this version of the game. This actually is something of a subtle tutorial in FES and Vanilla, though, as your party members will have their own supply of items that they can use in battle. Plus, there is situations where they will actually upgrade their own equipment if you've been slacking on upgrading it for them. So just an interesting little thing to keep in mind there. Tonight, we're going to be going to the arcade because available for us to play, various arcade games are inside. Should I spend the night here? Why, absolutely. We're going to be playing the High School of Youth, a dating sim that teaches how to tend to a lady, raises charm. We'll definitely want to pick up some of these double point boosts for charm when we're able to. That looks way too much like the girl from the dating sim in Gravity Falls. I played the dating simulator High School of Youth. What was her name? Giffany? I think that was it. I feel like I understand a woman's heart more now after wooing the game's heroines. I don't think this translates very well to real life, but hey, if that helps your confidence, I guess that's a good thing. Now, cutting back to Persona 3 FES, because there is some stuff that I want to show off on the 23rd. First off, first and foremost, is we are tired from our exploration of Tartarus. Obviously, if you leave Tartarus in the tired status, you will be tired in the following day. Since it's not that interesting to show, we are also tired in Persona 3 Portable. There isn't a distinct indicator that you're going to be tired when leaving Tartarus in Persona 3 Portable, but occasionally, if you have achieved the tiredness status, Mitsuru will call out that either you or your team members are tired, and that will indicate you get the tired status when you leave Tartarus. Generally speaking, though, if you explore all of the floors that are available to you in a given Tartarus trip, you will definitely be tired by the end of your excursion in Persona 3 Portable. Starting this day off, we overhear a conversation. Is it just me, or have there been more weird people around lately? I believe this is pretty much the same thing, that was gone over in Reload, although a mention of apathy syndrome, sometimes I think I might have it too, and it depresses me. Maybe you just need some exercise. And from here, we line up with Persona 3 Reload, with the athletics teams joining. Now, another thing that's a little bit different here, though not really in any meaningful way, it's more of a flavor kind of thing, is that there is actually something different involving the sports clubs in Persona 3 FES. And Persona 3 Portable, well, we'll go over that when we get to it. Class has ended for today. It seems that certain athletic teams are recruiting. If you can find the appropriate room, you might be able to join. They say it like there is more than one. Now, remember how I pointed out this corner of the classroom? Previously, there was nobody standing here, but this time around, there's a student. Greetings and salutations. How can I be of assistance? Ah, great, he's a nerd. Well, like I'm one to judge. Since you're a transfer student, you're probably unfamiliar with the Bay Area. When you speak to this student, the town map will be displayed. Select the location and you will resume play from there. Would you like to know what popular destinations are in the Bay Area? Well, as a matter of fact, I would. This isn't super critical, but I want to show this off. This student will allow you to access the town map from the classroom. You don't have to walk to the entrance of the school. I completed 2 full playthroughs of Persona 3 FES before realizing that this guy existed, and that's only because I was reading a guide for Persona 3 Vanilla that he got brought up, so I wasted quite a bit of time in those versions of the game. But I'm going to make my way to Polonia Mall right now, just to show off a minor thing that's not super critical, but I figured it would be worth noting. Obviously, we can only sell stuff to Officer Kurosawa in the daytime in Persona 3 FES, but just to reiterate, in this version of the game, if you forget to sell your crap to Officer Kurosawa during the day, Aohige's Pharmacy will allow you to sell your items to them in this version of the game. So we're going to sell off just all the junk that we got here, and unlike future versions of the game, items of the same variety are not consolidated. I actually want to keep a single imitation katana just in case. Not super critical, but it might come in handy depending on what I get. One thing to note is that it's actually not a terrible idea to keep an eye on the weapons that you are selling, because equipment in Persona 3 FES FES and Persona 3 Vanilla have randomized abilities, particularly weapons. Armor more often has set abilities. Alright, so that's all that sold right there. Let's see, we can sell off these Empress masks for less money than we would get for them in future versions of the game. We only get 2,000 yen a pop for these. And if I really wanted to, I could sell my bead chain to get a little bit of extra cash, but we're actually going to be returning to Tartarus in the very near future in FES, so it wasn't as critical to get a huge amount of money in my first run-through of Tartarus in this version of the game. Now that I've taken care of that, let's make our way back to the school. Alright, so here we are in the corridor leading to the gym, and I said there was something a little bit different about the sports clubs in this game. In Reload, our only option for the sports club is to join the track team. However, there are a variety of doors that you can go into in Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Vanilla, and each one, the Kendo team, seems to be using the gym. There's a note that says, Kendo team, recruiting new members, fight like a samurai. Well, that would be helpful for, our sword fighting abilities in Tartarus, but let's just take a quick look. Like in Persona 3 Reload, you can observe, and again, it just gives you a brief overview of what the typical class looks like. Gekukan High School Gymnasium. You watch the Kendo team practice. And like Reload, it is not particularly illuminating. Now, if you head over to the door leading to the track, again, you will be able to take up the option to join the track team. But another team we can join is the swim team. Swim team recruiting new members. Can you swim like a dolphin? Would you like to join? Well, let's just observe the club again. And once again, this will just give us a brief scene of the team doing their routine for a given practice. Gekukan High School Indoor Swimming Pool. See, they go with Speedos here. The swim team is training. I know that's pretty much standard for any swim team. I just think Speedos are funny, okay? And the track team, again, is over here. But just for a little bit of variety, we're going to actually join the swim team in Persona 3 FES, just because I think that's fun, and also it makes the social link unintentionally darker than it should be, considering the risk involved in swimming and what's going to happen in this social link. But yes, we will join the swim team, and the social link is otherwise identical to how it plays out in Persona 3 Reload, so I'll just be rolling it into a compilation of redundant social links that will be uploaded alongside this part of the Let's Play. So, with that being said, I will join the swim club. The swim team still has Kaz as the social link for it. You do not get a different person depending on what team you join, like in Persona 4. Now, at nighttime, I actually have something else that I want to take care of. Junpei, once again, reiterating our friendship with Kenji. Are you guys friends too? Well, sort of. I've known him for a long time, even though we usually don't hang out. He's a good guy, and man, he has no fear when it comes to the ladies. By the way, let's go to Tartarus tonight. I hear the lost are increasing, so we better kick some shadow ass. So yes, in Persona 3 FES, that actually does have mechanical meaning. Let's talk to Mitsuru real quick. Oh my, you don't look well. Are you tired? You should return to your dorm and rest for the remainder of the day. Don't push yourself too hard if you're not feeling well. And, as you can see, Mitsuru giving us the tutorial on tiredness. You'll recover within a few days if you rest and do not go to Tartarus. This is false. If you rest after going to Tartarus, and by rest I mean at late night you choose to sleep early instead of studying, you will recover from any level of fatigue that you're suffering. It'll take a few days if you choose not to rest, but eventually your status will recover. Be aware of your condition. If you are sick or tired, you will not fight at full strength during battle. But this is a convenient time, as convenient a time as any, to check everyone's status. The number of members who aren't feeling well is 1. Do you want to know the status of each member? Please tell me. So we're not the only ones suffering from tiredness here. Yukari is also tired, and there is a random chance that she'll get sick, which will delay her ability to enter Tartarus even further, but we're not going to be entering Tartarus again until Sunday, so that's not a big deal. But let's take a look at Junpei over here, who is in the good condition. Okay, so I guess in this case, since he was already in the tired status, he just automatically recovered from it and went into the good condition. That's actually something I didn't know before starting this Let's Play. I rarely go into Tartarus on nights where my teammates are feeling great, so I'm not aware of the exact mechanics of that. The reason I don't go to Tartarus too often on nights my teammates are feeling great is because the only way to know when that's going to happen is to play the game and then mark down every day where somebody says they feel great. And then remember that on your repeat playthrough. It's not an organic thing to plan around. Anyways, I'm saving my game here, and until we max out our courage, I'd recommend saving every day when you are suffering from the tiredness status. And actually, I screwed something up, so I have to double back. Alright, so we're back on 423 again, before I started the social link, but after I sold my gear. The reason I needed to wind the clock back there is because there was something that you can do when you are in the tired status that I really needed to remember to do, and then I forgot to jot down a note reminding myself before I started this recording, because I am diligent like that. But whenever you are in the tired status and you haven't maxed out your courage yet, go to the nurse's office. When you are in the tired status, normally the nurse, Mr. Edogawa, he will just blow you off. But if you are in the tired or sick status, how can I help you? Well now, what do we have here? You seem unwell. Is it a wound? A virus? A curse? Or is it love? This is the perfect opportunity to try my new concoction. Mr. Edogawa has a huge grin on his face. Here, try this. It includes bitter mugwort, poison carrot, henbane, jujube rabbit's foot, etc., etc. Even Hakusan's finest alchemist would be astonished by the ingredients. I shall treat your illness right here and now. Now drink this. Come on, drink up. The most bizarre smell that you've ever encountered in your life is drifting out of the bottle. Will you drink it? Whenever you are sick or tired, Mr. Edogawa will offer you his own herbal remedy when you enter the nurse's office, and you want to drink it. With one exception, but we'll get to that later. After drinking the concoction, your condition doesn't seem to be any better. Whew, well done. Whether or not you get better is inconsequential. You survived! Cheers to your bravery. Sorry to have deceived you. Your courage has increased, and this is a free +2 courage you can get whenever visiting the nurse's office. Very helpful for maxing out your courage very quickly, and this is something that we want to try and take as much advantage of as possible to get even further ahead of the curve. We want to do some save scumming in order to make sure that we maintain the tired and sick status for as long as possible so we can get these free courage boosts on school days. Obviously, when we reach Saturday, we don't need to save scum to keep our tiredness status there, since it's going to be Sunday and we can't take advantage of this anyway. But by doing this, we can get +6 courage from visiting the nurse whenever we're tired. So just assume that anytime I'm in the tiredness status, I'm going to be saving and reloading until I carry over the tired status to the next day so that I can get this free courage boost. If you'll excuse me, Saturn is calling. Whatever you say, you weirdo. But we'll be visiting plenty of times in this month and the next. With that taken care of, let's resume where I was previously. Resuming my train of thought earlier and updating the save to something that isn't with a day wasted, we're going to be going forward following a very particular schedule. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we always want to make our way to Polonia Mall to use the courage boosting game at the arcade. And in general, we want to head to Polonia Mall because we will be focusing on our courage more than anything in the early game of Persona 3 FES. So on other nights, we'll go to karaoke for a +2 courage bonus, which you can get that right here. I forget if it's Saturday or Sunday that it's closed in FES. The days that the karaoke is open or closed is actually different between vanilla and FES, and I forget what it is between the two games. I'll remind myself of that when it becomes pertinent. It doesn't really matter too much to what I'm doing right now. Let me see. Actually, no. I'm getting my days mixed up. Tomorrow, it's Tuesday and Friday, we need to go to the arcade. So tonight, we need to do the karaoke. Mandragora, karaoke solo, 800 yen. Don't be shy, belt it out. Will you stay here until midnight? Absolutely. And you don't exactly get a riveting scene here. Your main character just sings for hours and hours, and your courage increases ever so slightly. It's getting late. You decide to go back to the dorm. Thrilling. Now, at this point, we could sleep to restore ourselves to the normal status, or the good status, but we actually want to study. Now, if you try to study when you're tired, you have decided to study. You are tired and can't seem to focus. Trying to study tonight was just a waste of time. You will get a failure. Now, the reason we want to do this is because if we study and fail, there is a chance that our tiredness will carry over in the next day, and there's also a chance we'll get sick. It doesn't matter too much right now what it happens. On some days, we'd rather just be tired. We're not tired anymore, so what I have to do here is I have to actually reset the console and try again. Now, you could return to the title screen and reload your file in order to try and get the tiredness to carry over, but every time I've tried that, just going back to the title screen and reloading, it's never worked. It's usually when I do a soft reset, or not a soft reset, a hard reset, that I actually get the tiredness continuation or sickness to proc. Again, in this particular instance, it doesn't matter if we get tired or sick. If we were doing this on a Monday, we would want to stay tired and then fish for sickness on the following attempts. But since this is a Thursday and school is going to obviously be closed on Sunday anyway, getting sick will also allow us to easily carry our bad condition for 3 days. So again, doesn't really matter here. I'm just going to keep trying until the tiredness continues and I can get those free courage boosts. I can hear people talking.
You know what?
My parents have been nagging me to stop staying out late recently. They said they don't want me to end up like those people who suddenly go crazy. Ah, you mean apathy syndrome? But I heard they still don't know what causes it, so what's the point of being careful?
I know, right?
Yeah, I know, right? The prime time to hit up the arcade or work a shift is at night, too. And if I can't go to Hagakure at night, sorry, not Japanese here, anymore, then I'll miss out on the taste of happiness. Seems like some stores are open at night, too. I should go check them out when I have the time. Obviously, new tutorial text for Persona 3 Reload, since this was not a thing in FES or Portable. Class has ended for today. After school, we are given the freedom to choose our next social link to progress, and for tonight, we'll be working on Kenji. Now note, in order to progress social links, you want to be selecting the correct options in them going forward, which will be signified when music notes pop up over the responses you give. Now, you need to get a set number of correct responses in order to accrue points to advance social links, and every social link rank will have a different amount of points required in order to progress to the next rank the next time you hang out with someone. Regardless of how many points you get in a given social link conversation, you aren't always necessarily guaranteed a rank up on the next hangout, even if you say the right thing. Some require more points than you can get in the social link. That doesn't matter too much right now, because after you establish a social link, the rank 2 conversation will always just require that you get at least one correct response in order to keep progressing the link, and oftentimes there isn't even a wrong response to give in these. Hey, sup dude? I'm gonna head out soon. How about you? Looks like Tomochika wants to hang out. I feel like I might grow closer to him soon. Should I spend some time after school with Tomochika? Absolutely. Let's hang out with him. Huh? You coming with? Then how about we go out for ramen again? I want to hear more about you, too. Oh, that's cool.
Man, this always hits the spot. This flavor's pretty addictive, huh?
Despite its simple appearance, the soup has a complex flavor that's enhanced by the noodles.
By the way, dude, why the hell is your dorm co-ed? Can you, like, just waltz on into Takeba-san's room and stuff?
I have a feeling that would result in a quick execution. Not sure why I feel like that, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Can't win them all, I suppose. Well, I'm not interested in girls her age anyway. I'm more into older women. How about you?
Hell yeah, brother, I can get into that.
No way, really? Not a lot of guys out there who feel the same way. Man, you're cooler than I thought. To tell you the truth, this stays between us. I have my eye on someone. This is the secret plan I was talking about. Basically, I'm just gonna ask this girl out. But get this, she's a teacher at our school. Not like that's gonna stop me from making my move. But you gotta promise you won't tell anyone, okay? It might look weird if a teacher and a student are having a thing, no?
Tomochika told me his secret plan. He's got it bad. I feel like our relationship is stronger. Now, obviously, we should be discouraging this kind of thing, because there are so many ways this could go badly. But, for the sake of advancing our social links, we're just gonna pretend like we support this. The more time you spend with each of your social links, the deeper your relationships will grow. The level of intimacy you have with each person will unlock certain benefits. Depending on the rank, you will receive bonus experience when you fuse personas. Deepening your relationships with your current social links may lead to the discovery of new ones. Try to form as many as you can. Unfortunately, for those of you who jumped on from Persona 5, you do not get any other mechanical benefits from advancing your social links. You purely get the EXP bonus, plus the ultimate persona that gets unlocked when you max out the social link. There's no other fringe perks from advancing your social links.
Oh crap, my favorite show's about to start. See ya.
You and your favorite show, man. Just DVR it. This is the perfect time frame for that. I parted ways with Tomochika and went back to the dorm. Hey, welcome back! Hey, by the way, I saw you at the practice field earlier. Miyamoto-kun from our class is also on the track team, right? Maybe you guys will be friends. I've actually been thinking about getting involved in some more things besides just archery, too. Oh, wait. I guess I'm already doing that, huh? Not exactly what I meant, though. You're going to quickly realize that your teammates don't have quite the involved social life that your protagonist is going to develop. I wish I could at least get back to training for the boxing team after school. Oh, speaking of after-school activities, I heard you joined a club. Better give it your best, alright? It might be hard to participate regularly, but it'll be worth it if you can find the time for it. Thank you, Akihiko. I plan to take everything seriously. Anyways, there's just a game parade letter. Not something that we care about too much, though we will be heading to the arcade tonight. What I want to check out now is the calendar. We haven't really had a chance or a reason to look at this point in Persona 3 Reload, but right now I do want to just go over it, because you can see notable upcoming events like holidays like Showa Day over here. But let's see here. I think, yes, here is the midterm. So this is a week that we have to keep in mind because we will not be able to advance any social links in school during this time or do anything at all. But the week before it also is also time we're not going to be able to advance social links. So always check your calendar and keep these kinds of time frames in mind. As soon as we get back to school days as normal, we don't have to worry about our social links being locked out anymore. Alright, with that taken care of, let's get to the town map. I could have traveled to Paulownia Mall from the text, but I had already opened up quick travel. Another thing we can check out here is just our social link menu. Gives us a running track of how we're progressing with our various links here. Show us who they are and all that jazz. As you can see, a group social link like the Fool link also has all the members of C's represented underneath it, which is a nice little detail. I like that quite a bit. I forget if there's anything else in the game that allows you to track when people are available to hang out with. I think you might just have to keep track of that on your own, even in this version of the game. Anyways, heading to Game Parade tonight, we are going to be playing House of the Deceased once again in order to get that juicy courage bonus. And we've already seen this, it's the same every time, but we're just going to cut right to the stat raise here, because we get our first rank up. We are now Ordinary. Solidly mid when it comes to our courage. time for a daily recap of Persona 3 FES, and we're actually seeing a major mechanic regarding social links in FES here. So, first off is lunchtime visits from your social links. Hey, what's up, Cullen? You doing anything after school? Not really. Oh. Well, if you're looking for something to do, come talk to me. I'll be at my desk. Well, I guess I should go study. Not. Who needs to study, right? Kenji seems like he's hiding something. Maybe you should talk to him after school. Oh gee, I wonder what he is hiding. But that's not the only person coming to visit us, because apparently Kazushi was also just queued up waiting for us. What's up, Cullen? Surviving class today? Want to go for a jog before lunch is over? You're on, man. Seriously? Let me go get ready. Wait a minute, we don't have enough time. Guess I'll save my energy for practice. You're coming, right? See you there. Kazushi seems excited. Maybe you should go to swim team practice after school. Now, this is actually something pretty important to pay attention to in Persona 3 FES. When somebody visits you during lunchtime, that means they're ready for the next rank of their social link. So that's how you'll know you have enough points to get them up. So if you do a social link with someone, and then you pass by lunchtime on a day where you can hang out with them and they don't show up, that means you aren't able to get them to rank up. So keep these in mind. Obviously, though, this can be pretty tedious once you get enough social links going. You have like a line of 3 or 4 people just coming to visit you every single lunchtime, and it can be a little funny. We're also visiting Mr. Edogawa today. I was able to get the sick status instead of the tired status, which, like I said, in this particular instance, doesn't matter too much. If it was earlier in the week and I got sick instead of tired, I would want to reset so that I could get the tiredness instead. Not particularly because I'm worried about the penalties tied to being sick, but because I'd like to be able to carry the status for longer, and you can roll tiredness again at least once before you either become sick or you become better. Sickness can actually persist quite a while in Persona 3 FES. The longest this lasted for me is 3 days. I think it can potentially go as long as 4 days, but there's the sick icon if you're curious. Looking in dire straits there. Cutting back into here with the Kenji social link, I just wanted to point out that a mysterious voice rings in your head. Whenever you rank up in Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Vanilla, the message you get is extremely similar to if you established a completely new link. They didn't actually design a unique graphic for ranking up the social link in the actual social link itself. You just get the scene again, and then you get a text box that gives you the level of your link. The only social link level that actually has a different kind of message pop up is the final rank of the social link. But hey, our power to create personas of the Magician Arcana has also grown in this way too. Also pointing out that Yukari's dialogue on this day also indicated that she's had a condition improvement on today. So she's in the good condition since she was previously in the tired condition, or possibly even in the sick condition today. Kind of hard to tell, but it's nice that the game has kind of auto-cured the tiredness of our teammates, so that won't be a factor on Sunday when I plan to return to Tartarus. Finally, we'll be visiting the arcade today in order to get our courage up in Persona 3 FES. That'll give us +6 for the day, which is pretty solid. Alright, on 424, we finally also reconnect with Persona 3 Portable. Going forward for the rest of the Let's Play, this version of the game isn't going to be so staggered with the other versions, because the schedules will more or less line up pretty evenly at this point. There'll be a couple differences here and there, but that's largely going to be due to the fact that the female protagonist gets her different social links in slightly different orders, and some of them have different mechanics compared to their equivalents in the male character storyline. Real quick, I just wanted to show off actually selling our items to Officer Kurosawa, because as you can see, all of these weapons are worth a lot more in Persona 3 Portable compared to their Persona 3 FES equivalents, considerably more, honestly. Let's sell off I think I can sell off 3 Juzumarus. I picked up a bunch of these when I was in Tartarus, and we can sell off these imitation katanas. With all those, we can also sell off some of the useless armor that I've gotten, such as the blouses, which are just, or the blouse, which was just the female main character's armor that's now no longer useful, the vamp loafers. We can sell off these rash guards that don't do anything for us. One particular item of interest to sell is the Empress masks. As you can see, compared to how much these were worth in Persona 3 FES, these are worth double the value in this game, giving us a cool 72k to work with. I could also sell some of the healing items here, like I have the option to in Persona 3 FES, but I'm good on money, so there's nothing else that I need to do there. Moving on. We also want to hit up the nurse's office. One funny and weird thing about Persona 3 Portable is that the faculty office and the nurse's office is on the opposite side of the hall that it is in Persona 3 FES Vanilla and Reload. I don't know why they did it like that, but it kind of disorients me. Anyways, we just go into the nurse's office, and much like Persona 3 FES, we get a courage boost when we go in here. This is as good a time as any to explain something for Persona 3 Reload. Now, obviously, the fatigue system does not exist in Reload at all, but just to kind of replicate this mechanic, in Reload, the day after you visit Tartarus, you can visit Mr. Edogawa for a courage boost like this, but unlike the other versions of the game, you can't keep extending your fatigue to get multiple courage bonuses off of it. It doesn't work like that in Reload. Another thing to note in Portable compared to Reload, and, well, not Reload, FES I mean, is that sickness doesn't seem to be able to last any longer than 4 days. So you can be tired, then you can have the tired extend, then you can be sick, and then you can be sick again. But after that, you are guaranteed to recover your condition. It can't go any longer than that. FES, I've had it go on for at least 5 days, so, or 5 days before, and I think you can go for as long as 6 days, even if you're lucky enough, but that's not something that can happen in Persona 3 Portable. 4 days is the maximum. You can't farm that many courage boosts. Something to note with another bit of the staggered schedule in Portable is that our Chariot social link is actually available on 424 instead of 423, and there are a couple options for this. However, we actually get a completely different character for the female social link in Persona 3 Portable. We've got the tennis club here, which we could join. But we could also observe it, which there's not too much to see in Persona 3 Portable. Everyone's having fun. Yeah, that was riveting. Let's go with volleyball. That seems like an appropriate high school girls' sport in my dumb guy's perspective. Let's go for it. Gekkokan High School Gym. So you all have a new teammate. She's Zoe Collins from Class 2F. Everybody be nice to her, okay? Nice to meet you all, everybody. Nice to meet you, too. This club seems to have a rather friendly atmosphere. At the very least, it seems that you're welcome here. Who is the leader for the juniors? That would be me. Obviously, we can't work with Kazushi Miyamoto on a girls' team, so instead we get a completely new character for Persona 3 Portable, and somebody, much like the Femsi herself, just got banished to the Shadow Realm after this game. We have... Oh, good. I'll leave the rest to you. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here anyway. Hee-hee! Alright. As I was saying, we have here... Miss Kano left. We have here... I don't really know anything. Hee-hee! That sounds exactly like her. She's too old trying to act cute like that. Ladies, we need to get introduced to our social link here. Come on, let's get back to practice. You're Zoe-san, right? I'm Ryo Iwasaki, a junior like you. I'm in charge of the juniors in the club, so don't hesitate to ask me anything. So yes, we've got Ryo as our Chariot social link. Also a minor difference with the scheduling here. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. No Thursdays like track practice or swim meet can be. We don't meet for a few days before exams, so keep that in mind. I'll do my best. Well then, we're going to concentrate on doing basic exercises today, so come on and join in. Just keep up as much as you can. The basics again. I keep telling you all that the fundamentals are important, so let's start off with some running. Alright. Zoe-san, you stand in this line. If you start getting worn out, just keep your mind focused, and you'll be able to pull through. I'll be alright. Haha, you sound promising. You joined the girls' volleyball club and met Ryu Iwasaki, a junior like you. Ryu seems to be taking your role in the club seriously. And with that, we finally get our chariot social link established. I am thou, thou art I, thou hast established a new bond. We'll be seeing this text a lot before this game is over, so get used to it. Granted, unlike Persona 3 FES, we won't be seeing it constantly anytime we rank up a social link. That's a nice little change here. They got an actual graphic for it. Eventually, we'll get something to rank too, and we'll be able to see it. 1, 2. After running laps, you went through a series of muscle exercises. Then you diligently went through basic drills in serving and receiving. You decided to go back to the dorm after practice ended.
Oh, hey.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you joined any clubs yet? Way ahead of you, Yukari. Also, we've been over this already. Yeah, I know. You're feeling it. You're really feeling it. I'm aware of that. Anyways, much like Persona 3 FES, we want to be saving and trying to extend our fatigue for as long as possible. So we make a save here, and then we go out to do our business at night. So tonight we want to go and do the arcade, because that is available. I don't know why I got it in my head that it was available on Thursday at all. That was not the case. But here we can go in, do the Horror House arcade game, and because this is Persona 3 Portable, the night will just immediately end as we go along to the next day. Now let's see, moment of truth. You're still tired. One thing I want to note is that in Persona 3 Portable, you actually have a load file option. The bookstore message again. Let's just skip through this. Well, not again, we haven't seen it yet, but I do just want to demonstrate something. You do have, in your system menu, a load data option, and unlike Persona 3 FES, you don't seem to need to hard reset your PC, or your PSP, in order to get the RNG to give you a different result on your fatigue. You just need to load the data, and it seems to pick every single time you go to sleep for the night, so it's a little more generous like that. I don't know for sure if you need to hard reset the PS2 in order to get the fatigue to extend, but I've never been able to get it to without doing a hard reset. Anyways, let's get to 425 proper in reload. I can hear people talking. Oh hey, you know the bookstore at the strip mall? Isn't their grand reopening today? Huh? A bookstore? Yeah, leave Iwatodai Station, go straight for a while, and it's after you cross the crosswalk. It's almost the new semester, so let's check out more shops in the city. Apparently, the bookstore at the strip mall is having a grand reopening today. I wonder what kind of books they sell there. Might be something to check out. And as a matter of fact, we actually don't have anything that we can do during the afternoon today, or after school. I mean, we could go boost our stats, but why don't we check out that bookstore? It's reopening today, after all. This also allows me to conveniently segue into something that I'd like to check out. We briefly stopped by here to collect some Twilight fragments, but now I think is a good time to go over Naganaki Shrine. So let's start from the left over here. I do want to note that there is actually a number of unique aspects about Naganaki Shrine in Persona 3 Vanilla that we'll be going over in the next video. I just want to go over what it can do for you in the versions of the game that we're actually playing for the videos right now. First off is the Inari Sushi over here. Now, in Persona 3 Reload, by praying at the shrine, you can choose to make a copy of one of your existing skill cards. This skill card will be replicated immediately. You may do this once per day, so any skill card that we've collected, we can pray at the Inari Shrine. I sense something. Yip, yip! What is it? Do you want a card? Alright, I'll copy it for you. It's one of my hobbies these days. Choose a skill card that's to your liking. It's hard to choose just one if you have a bunch, so it's best to use them up. That way, you're carrying fewer of them around. Shall we do this then? What kind of skill card do you want duplicated? So let's take a look at our magic here, and why don't we duplicate a couple of our, or at least one of our elemental spells. We'll try and get 2 of these when we have them kicking around. Here goes. Whew, all done. Go on, take it. We get another Zeo spell. See you later. Could be handy. Over here we have Leaving money as an offering will raise your academics. The amount you choose to donate may yield different results. Those who approach with generosity will be rewarded in kind. Time will pass if you make an offering. So this is another daytime opportunity to boost academics, and the more money you offer, the more academics you get. But since it eats up time that we could spend social linking, we're never going to use this. We can boost our academics to max just fine with the opportunities available to us at night. Now over here, this sign says Relationship Fortune for 100 yen. Imagine someone you are tied to via a social link, and your relationship will deepen. If your bond has been damaged, it may be repaired. That bit of text does not matter at all in Reload, and only barely matters in FES and Portable, if I'm being completely honest, but it is something to keep in mind. Time will pass as you read your fortune. Depending on your luck, your fortune may have an effect on your wallet for better or for worse. This means that randomly you can get extra or lose extra money. If you get money back from the fortune, you will always profit. You won't just break even on drawing the fortune. But the main reason for the fortune, the reason you'd want to use it, is because thinking of a specific social link and drawing a relationship fortune for them will give you a boost equivalent to a social link interaction. Basically, praying at with the relationship fortune gives you an equivalent boost to hanging out with someone if you hung out with them when they weren't ready for a rank up. So it's a pretty good thing to keep in mind if you don't have any links you need to get to today, but you do have one that's stalled out until it gets a few more points, and you want a way to get points for it independent of hanging out with them. Now, in Persona 3 FES, a couple of these services work pretty differently compared to how they do in Reload. The offertory box works exactly the same, although you can only offer one amount of yen. I believe it's 1,000 yen, and you get a guaranteed academics boost. Not that useful, but let's take a look at it anyway, just to make sure I'm not completely wrong on that. By leaving offertory. If you're in the great... Okay, so yeah, if you're in the great condition, then you'll get a better academics boost. But there's only one option of a denomination leave, 100 yen. Cheap to use, but not worth it since it takes up time. Over here is the relationship fortune, working much the same way of giving a hangout boost with someone who is not yet ready to rank up, or at least that's how you should be using it. But what is notable here is if your bond has been reversed, it may be mended. Time will pass as you read it. Now, in Persona 3 FES, bonds or social links, and to a lesser extent in Persona 3 Portable, social links can reverse on you if you do not pursue them in a set amount of time. The way this works is that social links with your male classmates, if you do not interact with them within the span of 90 days, they will reverse, and you need to draw a relationship fortune to correct that. Female social links are a bit stricter. They have 60 days of leeway where you can ignore them, and then the link will reverse if you haven't talked to them in that time. But there is a mechanic that when it comes into play, it will reduce the amount of days you are given a grace period to hang out with a female classmate by 15 days. And we'll go over that when it becomes relevant, but suffice to say it's one of the most hated mechanics in the game, and one of the big things that makes maxing out social links in Vanilla and FES pretty difficult to do, because it's a constant balancing act you have to do to get those links advancing at a good rate. Now, the Inari Sushi box over here. Oh, and just for the record, as far as I'm aware, social links outside of school do not follow this kind of strict criteria. You can advance those at your leisure, as far as I'm aware, and they won't reverse on you. There are also some dialogue choices that can reverse your social links. Most of them are pretty obvious, but one of them is a pretty infamous landmine that I'll probably show off. Anyways, the Inari Sushi box. It's some Inari Sushi. Anything could happen when you join your hands and wish in front of the small shrine. Time will pass as you fervently wish. Join your hands? The game doesn't really give you a good clue on what exactly this does, but praying at the Inari Sushi box will pass time, but if you happen to be visiting Tartarus that night, you will, for the remainder of that visit, have a passive bonus of different varieties. Probably the most useful one is the one that improves the item drop rate, which is not relevant right now, but is very important later. There's also one that can improve the amount of experience you get from enemies when you're traveling in Tartarus, and I think there's a couple other. Most of these effects are found as random floor events in Persona 3 Portable. And the Inari Sushi box does something different in that version of the game. Speaking of, Now, in Persona 3 Portable, these services, the Fortune Box and the Offertory Box, again, work exactly the same as they do in FES, but the Inari Sushi has its own effect here as well, although it's pretty similar to how it works in Persona 3 Reload. You can duplicate your cards here, but it's a 5-day wait, regardless of what you give to them. You don't get it back immediately, you have to wait 5 days. It's very silly. But you want to know what's even sillier than that? So, you know how he said, if you don't like what I pick, you can just pick something different? Well, in Persona 3 Portable, the reason he says that is because you cannot just directly select the card you give to him. Instead, he consults your inventory and just selects a random card from it. And if you don't like what he picks, you have to say no, and then just keep waiting until he selects the card that you want. So, we only have the Dia card, and you know what the hell, I'll have him dupe it. I don't plan to actually use anything on it, but we'll be able to come back in 5 days, or he'll just hold on to it for us until he remembers. So yeah, not only do you have to wait much longer for cards to dupe in Persona 3 Portable, you also do not get to directly control what card you can dupe. So if you ever end up accumulating a bunch of useless cards, you want to actually sell them off. Even though they only sell for like 1 yen, you don't want a bunch of useless cards cluttering up the list so that the Inari just keeps picking the same thing over and over again. Heading into Iwatodai Strip Mall, let's check out this bookstore here. The used bookstore. Bookworms. Should I enter the store? Hell yeah, let's check it out.
Welcome. What would you like to order? Our special today is fresh mackerel.
As you might suspect, we don't serve sushi here.
Oh, you're a student, aren't you? Then you must be from Gekkoukan High, right? That means you probably know about the persimmon tree there, don't you?
That sounds familiar, but... persimmon tree. I don't even know what a persimmon looks like.
You think I'm making this up? I assure you, it's real. At Gekkoukan High, there's an open courtyard area. The tree grows beside a walkway there.
It seems there's a persimmon tree somewhere at Gekkoukan High. Does this elderly couple have some kind of connection to it?
Please excuse my husband. Just consider it the ramblings of an old man. Don't you worry your little head, okay?
Sorry, lady, you got my curiosity stoked. After saying goodbye to the couple, I decided to leave the bookstore. So this is the first social link where we actually have a time-independent sequence trigger here. Basically, it's not just, this link isn't just available when enough days pass and we reach the time where it becomes available. We also have to fulfill a little side quest of sorts in order to get it ready. So what we want to do now is we want to go to Gekkoukan High School, and of course we want to check out that tree. When we checked it originally, this didn't really yield any interesting information, but now that we know about the persimmon tree, could this be this persimmon tree the old couple at the bookstore were talking about? There is a fallen leaf under the tree. I obtained a persimmon leaf. Alright, handy dandy. Maybe I should show this leaf to the old couple at the bookstore. I think that would be swell. I'm pretty sure they'd appreciate that. It sounds like this tree means something to them. One other sequence trigger I'd like to take care of is right here. Let's buy some takoyaki. Come over here, young man. My takoyaki is both delicious and cheap. Only 400 yen. There's no octopus in it, but try some anyway. Oh, that's kinda... Okay, whatever. We'll take the weird takoyaki. Anyways, we'll need one of these later, so get one of these whenever you have the opportunity, though there's nothing preventing you from just getting it when you actually need it. Much like how we were just able to easily collect the persimmon tree leaf today, as soon as we talked to the old couple. Though obviously you can't grab that leaf without talking to the couple first, because the main character does not think anything of the persimmon tree otherwise. Also, that is a weird telephone number. I'm kind of apprehensive about calling that one. Let's just go in. Should I show them the persimmon leaf? Of course.
Welcome to Bookworms. How many guests? Smoking or non-smoking? That leaf that's in your hand. Oh, do you mean to tell me this is a leaf from that persimmon tree? It must have grown quite a bit to produce such splendid leaves. Oh, wait, so you aren't here to buy books? Did you come visit just to show this to us?
But of course.
I knew it. I knew right from the start that you were a kind young man. I've been meaning to go see that tree for a while now, but I'm not sure if these stumpy old legs will make it that far. That wasn't meant to be a pun. You know, stumpy. Tree stump. Get it?
Yes, yes. You're very clever, dear.
Let me introduce my wife, Mitsuko. I'm Bunkichi. If you don't mind, would you tell us your name? Yes, a good name. As good as mine.
They seem to have taken a liking to me after talking about the persimmon tree. I've become acquainted with Bunkichi-san and Mitsuko-san, the elderly couple.
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast established a new bond. Thou shalt have our blessing when thou choosest to create a persona of the Hierophant Arcana.
Boom! Hierophant social link established. The Hierophant Arcana is kind of a generalist type of persona arcana, with personas who both have a mix of elemental magics as well as physical attacks, usually with a lot of AoE options actually, so they're pretty good for getting damage that you want to spread around and hit entire enemy teams with.
We're open every day except Monday. Come visit us whenever you're free.
I parted with the elderly couple and went back to the dorm. One thing to note about Bunkichi and Mitsuko is that they are a social link independent of our school life, meaning that they're not affected by our school schedule, and we can easily hang out with them on days where our classmates might be busy, such as testing weeks. Oh, you're back. Seems like you've been doing a good job of exploring Tartarus. Just remember, you're the only ones who'd be able to do anything if something happened. Until I finish recovering, I'll be counting on you. You can trust in me, Akihiko. Man, you've had a lot to say recently. They say it'll still be some time before my injuries fully heal. Well, I hope I can get back to fighting sooner rather than later. Guess we'll see. Looks like Mitsuru's on a different floor today, and indeed, she sent us a text about it. I'll be in the command room today. If you want to go to Tartarus, come let me know. I'll be able to join you as well. This is a nice little quality of life thing in Reload. There were a handful of times where Mitsuru would just up and move out of the living room and be in a different area, and you wouldn't really know where she was, so you had to search around to find her, because there's a couple different places she could be in. Usually the command room, but sometimes she'd be sitting at a table on one of the dormitory floors. That's neither here nor there, though. Let's get out of here, and we want to go to Wild Duck Burger once again, giving us another opportunity to boost our courage by 4 points. We're doing good on that right now. My Omnamming has improved my courage. Rounding out our day in Persona 3 FES, I'm picking up some takoyaki for the sequence trigger I need it for later, and doing the Hierophant social link, much like in Reload, and honestly portable. While taking care of the Persimmon Tree sequence trigger, I also visit Mr. Edogawa for my free courage boost, the last one we can get this week. Now, if I really wanted to, I could try to extend my sickness till Monday, and just ignore going to Tartarus on Sunday, but I really don't want to do that. I think it's just best to go to Tartarus on Sunday, take this 2-point courage boost, and not have to worry about that. Technically, in terms of maximizing courage gains, it would kind of be better to go to Tartarus tonight, because the karaoke isn't available, but I think it'll work out better if I do it on Sunday, for reasons we'll get into in the near future. Just cutting back into Persona 3 FES here also, because very weirdly, one minor difference with the Hierophant social link is that in other versions of the game, it's available every day except Monday. In Vanilla and FES, it's every day except Sunday. Just a minor routing consideration to keep in mind when planning your social links schedule. Back at the dorm, we actually don't need to save our game tonight anyway, because we're not save-scumming our condition. We're going to rest tonight to shake off our cold and be in fighting condition on Sunday. Now, in FES, the karaoke is not available to sing at on Saturdays. It is closed. Let's just go check that out just to see the message that you get when you try to use it. So, head up the stairs, and the worker seems really busy. I'm terribly sorry, but we're full at the moment. Weekends are always like this, so you may want to try some other time. Not quite true. This is available on Friday and Sunday. Just Saturday, it's the one day it's a little too busy for you to go into. Since we can't study anyway on account of our tiredness, this is an opportunity for us to use Chagall Cafe Pheromone Coffee, 500 yen, a charming flavor that will turn on your charm, a cheap way for us to get 2 points of courage, and one we'll never use in Reload for the most part. So, may as well show it off here, since we can't boost any other stats anyway. But, since we were able to visit Mr. Edogawa, we still got a +2 courage boost, so we're still on good track of daily courage boosts in order to make sure we cap that stat super quick. You enjoy a cup of pheromone coffee. You feel people looking at you. Is this an effect of the coffee? Your charm has increased. And I suppose I may as well show off sleeping while we're here. The kind of thrilling gameplay that I'm sure you were just dying to see. Feeling a little eepy, so we'll take a rest. But here's another unique thing that just conveniently happened. This is Kenji calling us at night. We'll be seeing this kind of thing in the morning in Reload as well, but in FES, it's instead something that more often than not happens to you at night, though it can happen on Sundays as well. Kenji will call us, and he'll ask if we can talk, and if we agree, then he'll ask if we want to do something on Sunday. Kenji is already on track for another social link rank up, and these dates, the only reason you'd want to do them is if you need a ton of points in order to get your next social link rank, which we don't need for Kenji. And if we agree to him, it automatically eats up our afternoon. So we want to tell him that we're busy. Oh, are you? Alright, I guess I'll talk to you later then. Kenji hung up. He sounded disappointed. But that doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect anything adversely. It doesn't reduce the number of days you have until you can talk to him again. It's just, Kenji was disappointed. One thing to note, though, in Persona 3 Vanilla and Persona 3 FES, on nights when you don't go to Tartarus, you might get a call from your friend to hang out. If you spend time with your friend on the weekends, you may become closer to them. But if you accept those calls in Persona 3 Vanilla and Persona 3 FES, you actually do get social link points merely for accepting the invite. And that actually does come up in the route a few times where we need to accept phone calls to get just enough points to push us up to a next rank. And conveniently, the date will often also get us points to secure the next rank up we need. You don't seem to be feeling well, so we'll go to sleep earlier. And when you go to sleep earlier, you get a message. As soon as it loads. You're no longer sick because you rested. And if you were already in the good condition, you would get a message stating that you feel great because you rested. In Portable, we get the courage boost from Mr. Edogawa. You can skip through the text by holding the triangle button, by the way. Don't think I ever went over that. We also set our sequence triggers for later, like the weird takoyaki, and of course we get the Bookworms quest going. Finally, for the 425 in Persona 3 Portable, we play a quiz game. We're actually pulling quite a bit ahead in academics in this version of the game. Also, finally remembered to buy Mad Bull in this version of the game, so I have that for later. It's Sunday, and we've got our first text message invitation. Receiving invites on days off. Some of your social links might invite you to hang out on days that you don't have school. Spending time with your friends will give you a chance to build your relationships. Saying yes to an invitation will automatically fill your schedule for that afternoon, and your free time will be dedicated to that hangout. If someone sends you an invite message, you don't need to respond immediately. However, the hangout will no longer be available if you don't respond to the day you receive the invitation. This is another nice quality of life improvement over Persona 3 FES and Portable. When you got these phone calls originally, they were phone calls rather than text messages, you could only accept them when they first came in. If you turn them down, that would be forfeiting the opportunity. One thing to note about these date requests that you get is that they cannot advance your social link rank, but you do get a ton of points for attending them if you give the right responses. So these are another option for improving your social links, getting them up to the opportunity for the next rank up, if you accept them at a point where you aren't already qualified for another rank up. Of course, it's a little hard to know that offhand, especially in the older versions of the game where it doesn't actually really communicate to you that often that you qualify for a rank up. Anyways, we got Kenji here, but we're just gonna blow him off. I mean, I'll look at his message when we get control again, but I don't plan to answer this message. We don't really care what Kenji wants to do today. He's already qualified for another rank up, so it'd be a waste of time to go after him. But we'll take a look at what he wants to do. Since we got the day off, hit me up if you want to go somewhere. I'll be free till the afternoon. Yeah, whatever, Kenji. Anyways, hey, we got text from old people. I think I know who I want to hang out with. Cullen-chan, how do you do? Come swing by the store sometime to say hello, okay? Best regards. Sorry for my American accent pronouncing the Chan honorific. It's just what my brain defaults to. Should I go to Bookworms? Let's go. Musty old people store, here we come. Stepping into Bookworms, we are going to grow closer with the elderly couple, so we'll absolutely spend some time with them. I'll spend some time at this afternoon at the bookstore.
Oh, you came back. Welcome. What was your name again?
Aw, come on, you know, I'm Cullen. Cullen!
Oh, no need to tell me, I was just joking. I'm not that senile. My wife and I were just talking about you. Tell me, do you like this kind of treat? Someone gave it to me, but I have more than enough. Go ahead and take it.
Thank you.
Ah, don't worry about it. You don't have to thank me for something as small as this. You're so polite, I say. You're like his complete opposite. Would you like another to give to a friend? We have so many. My wife and I would take forever to finish them all.
I'd like that, yeah.
Right then. Here you go. For real this time. What was your name again?
Goodness, dear. It's him, remember? My apologies. He's been terribly forgetful lately. Here you are.
Got some melon bread. Very nice. Free healing items.
Say, where did that boy run off to, dear? He should be here helping customers. Sorry about that.
Boy?
Our spoiled son. He hasn't been back in a while. Honestly, where in the world did he go? Right, dear?
Oh, my dear, He's
what? What's wrong?
Oh, that's right. Our son has already passed away. I'm sorry, young man. I apologize on behalf of my son for not being here to greet you.
The elderly couple opened up about their painful past. I feel like we're growing closer. We get a little bit of background on Bukichi and Mitsuko. Bukichi seems to mostly be put together, although he does have some lapses. Luckily, his wife is a little bit more on the ball. Really tragic about their son, though. It's always horrible to see parents have to outlive their children. Can't even imagine.
Hey now, the two of you look like you just seen a ghost. It's dark outside. We don't need it to be dark in here, too. Come visit us again, will you? We'll be waiting.
Well, after that, I don't think I could possibly turn them down. I parted with the elderly couple and went back to the dorm.
Oh, it's you.
Welcome back. Not too much to say there, huh, Mitsuru? We got a lot of dialogue we could get from our compatriots here, but before I forget, something I've been meaning to do for a while is to go to the vending machine, and we want to purchase some Mad Bull. Much like in FES, we need this for a sequence trigger later. I had intended to actually buy some of this when I was going to Tartarus, and then it completely slipped my mind, but each Mad Bull is only 5 SP restored anyway, so it's not that big a deal. At this point, we purely need them for the sequence trigger. Now, this is where things are going to diverge a little bit with Persona 3 FES. Real quick, just popping into Persona 3 Portable to start for once, because there isn't much to do on Sunday, but Bookworms is open on Sundays in this version. Plus, Junpei is hanging out here. Hey, Zoe, what's up? Oh, just wandering around, but nothing. What's up with you? Let's say that instead. I just ate, man. All that exercise in Tartarus makes me hungry. I can feel that, but yeah, there's nothing much to do today except visit the old couple, so that's what we'll do. Real quick though, I can cut ahead and show you. And this is just what I wanted to show off real quick, is the rank up graphic for Persona 3 Portable. Nice little looking one, I think it looks pretty cool. Now, when we leave the dorm in Persona 3 FES starting things off, will you go out until dark? When you leave the dorm, you cannot return to it without advancing time to the evening, so be absolutely sure that you don't have anything you want to do in the dorm before you leave. Which, on certain days, there are things you want to do in the dorm before you step outside. Since Bookworms is closed today anyway, and we don't have anybody else we can social link with on Sunday, and I'm going to the wrong place, I do not actually want to go to Polonia Mall, though this is an opportunity to show off something, so maybe this is a good fortune, because I might forget to show this off for a very long time otherwise. In Game Panic, on Sundays, the only types of arcade games available are Punching Bag, Mole Whackers, and Lucky Fortune, the Persona status boosting games. So on Sundays, you have your free pick of choices for what stats you want to work on for your Persona, assuming you don't care about endurance and luck, which cannot be worked on with the arcade machines. But where we want to go to is Port Island Station, and we want to watch a movie. The movie airing is still the one that boosts our courage in Persona 3 FES, so this is a great opportunity to get another +4 courage, and with the 2 movie visits we managed to do, we've managed to get our courage 10% done just from the movie visits alone, without wasting time for anything else, so pretty good way to manage our time. A student ticket is 1,500 yen. Would you like to stay here and watch some movies? I sure would. You've been inspired to be more courageous. Your courage has increased. It's getting late. You decide to go back to the dorm.
Sup, dude?
And now, I've been saying this repeatedly, we want to go to Tartarus this Sunday. This will be a good opportunity to get the tiredness status to take care of a bunch, or secure a bunch of courage boosts from Mr. Edogawa, plus make more progress. Let's just check everyone's status to make sure everyone is healthy, and indeed, and check the status of each member. To make sure that everyone is going to go to Tartarus with you, you need to check this screen specifically. If anybody has left for the day, sometimes you'll get a scene of them telling you when you enter that they're heading out, but not always, so you should always check everyone's status just to make sure everyone you want to use is going to Tartarus. And we want to go to Tartarus tonight. I'll let the others know. And once again, we find ourselves in Tartarus. So we will be resuming our climb, getting to the next checkpoint before we inevitably succumb to fatigue. But I've also got a bunch of footage from Reload and Persona 3 Portable to roll in from that. So we should be able to make a pretty solid video out of that. So once again, the next video will be dedicated to Tartarus exploration. We won't be seeing as many Tartarus videos in rapid succession in the future. It just so happens that you have to do more exploration than you'd expect in the first month, well, in FES anyway. But that's what we'll be doing in the next video. So as always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I sincerely hope to see you next time. Until then though, goodbye.